Hey guys, Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with episode number 18 of Explore the Card, where we take a deep dive look at Michael Jordan inserts and parallels from the 1990s. I'm going to switch you over to our thumbnail so you can take a quick look at the card of the day. It is the NOYZ BOYZ insert. A lot of you guys are familiar with this one. It's another one of the monsters. I'm trying to bounce back and forth between huge cards and then other slightly more affordable cards. So this is going to fall into the relatively huge category. As we always do, let's start by taking a look at what I own so you can understand where I'm coming from with a sense of transparency. I own the BGS 9.5 copy of the NOYZ BOYZ insert. It is a minimum gem copy with a 9 centering. Cards on the screen here. I always like to just kind of tell you guys what I own so you know where I'm coming from. Again, just to be clear, I am going to hype the heck out of Michael Jordan cards regardless. I don't care if I'm biased or I sound biased. I'm doing the video because I like these cards, and so obviously I'm going to speak very favorably of almost any and all Michael Jordan cards because I'm a Michael Jordan collector. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. It is skewed, it is biased, and just so you know. So we always like to take a look at the set itself that the card emanates from, and this Skybox Thunder 1998 set is a 127 card set. 125 of the cards are individual players, and cards number 126 and 127 are checklists. Again, the cards are in no particular order, unlike some 90s, where they're in team alphabetical order or player last name alphabetical order. These cards don't appear to be in any order whatsoever. Jordan in the base set is right here. It is card number 106. This is a super expensive base card and relatively low pop. So this card right here in PSA 10 condition last sold for about $400. I think it was $399. It is a pop 32 in PSA 10 condition. The most notable insert sets in 1998 Skybox Thunder are the autographics, which are really interesting because they're on-card autographs. They're 1 in 112 packs, but they don't just come from Skybox Thunder. We've talked about this in prior episodes of Explore the Card. These autographics cards actually could be pulled from Hoops, Metal Universe, Skybox, EX, Century, Skybox Molten Metal, Skybox Premium, or Skybox Thunder. So little interesting caveat there, but autographics are one of the insert sets that can be pulled in 1998 Skybox Thunder. Another is Boss, which was inserted 1 in 16 packs. Bringing It, I am not familiar with. Flight School is a little bit under the radar. 1 in 96 pack pulled in hobby packs. It's a horizontal card. Liftoff is another one every 56 packs. And then, of course, the primary insert from the set is the NOYZ BOYZ. There are also 2 parallel sets. There's the Rave, which are numbered to 150 for cards number 1 through 125. There are no checklist Raves. And then Super Rave, which is extremely rare, serial number to 25. So just about the era where those serial number cards started to kind of flood into the market in the 1990s. And if you have serial number cards of Jordan from the 90s, you know how valuable those cards can be. So anyway, NOYZ BOYZ, the set is 1 in 300 packs, making Jordan, because there's 15 cards in here, Jordan is a 1 in 4,500 pack odds card. That's going to probably attribute in large part to the reason the card is so valuable, especially in high grade. 10 of the 15 players in the set that you see on the screen are Hall of Famers. They include Michael Jordan, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Grant Hill, Iverson, Shaq, Pippen, and Rodman. Not a bad lineup right there. There are 5 non-Hall of Famers. Even some of the non-Hall of Famers are extremely relevant and were fantastic players. I'm thinking Sharif Abdul-Rahim and Penny Hardaway and Stephon Marbury come to mind. The only guys that didn't quite cut it were Antoine Walker, who was just a chucker. Really again, he was just a chucker. I don't know how else to say it. But and then also Keith Van Horn. Keith Van Horn actually was a really good player as well. So if you're collecting the set, no slouches in here. Really, really cool set to collect. Would be really tough to find it in high grade, as we'll see in just a second when we take a little bit closer look at the pop reports. But really cool, very collectible set. If you can kind of throw out the grade and just collect the set to collect the set. Anyway, so that's it. So we always like to look at the card itself. So let's just take a look at it and see what we got. And so it's kind of got an orangish NOYZ BOYZ, almost like a fire flame type, I guess, color to it, but it's got the black borders. The card is die cut. Hopefully you guys can see that on the screen. It's relatively intricately die cut around the letters NOYZ BOYZ. So the N, the Z, all of them are die cut. It's got Jordan in his black uniform. The ball is in his left. He's driving. He's wearing his Jordans, of course. If we look on the back here, you can see the card's primarily white on the back of the card. It's got a little bit of bleeding. You can kind of actually see through, if you get close enough, you can actually see the Skybox Thunder logo on the front see through into the back. And then I always like to read the back for you guys. It says MJ, and these are always so corny, but I think that's part of the reason why we love it. So it says MJ, it's fitting you were in Space Jam because your game truly is from another planet. I mean, how nerdy is that? Even when you come into our stadium to try to and beat our team, we can't help but make crazy noise with a Z. How could we not when the game's on the line and you simply pull off the double team, elevate, fade away, release, rotation, swish. So again, late year Jordan. So there's a reference there clearly to the fade away. The author on the card is clearly speaking from the perspective of an opposing team's fans. But anyway, really cool card, beautiful card. On the front of the card, it's got Michael Jordan in silver script here, or silver print right in the middle, and then the Skybox Thunder logo right here, midway up the card on the right side. So beautiful card all around. No way around that. Let's take a look at the deep dive, right? Let's take a look at the data. This is what you guys sort of have come to know and love. I'll put this on the screen as always, so you guys can either screenshot it or you can take a picture of it with your camera. Hopefully this gives you guys a pretty good grasp of what these cards sell for, how many of them there are, how often they sell, how the pop moves, and things like that. So looking at the screen, we can see on here that the PSA 10, we always start with the top. So we start with the PSA 10, which is the most valuable. It's got a 28% gem rate. Only 83 have been graded by PSA. That's not a lot because, again, like we talked about, it's a 1 in 4,500 pack odds card. But 28% gem rate is really high. If you look at the combined PSA 10 and 9, 83% of the raw submitted grade mint or better. That's a staggering number. If you look at the BGS, that's what really stands out. More than 9 out of 10 grade mint or better with Beckett, and 83% grade mint or better with PSA. That is insane. And if you look at the gem rate for BGS, a little bit more actually than half the cards grade in BGS 9.5 or better condition. Actually, there are also 2 BGS 10s. There are no black labels, which I can't even imagine how pure a black label would look on this black motif with the black uniform NOYZ BOYZ. It would maybe be the greatest card I've ever seen in my life aesthetically. But like I said, 50% gem rate for BGS 9.5. There are 2 BGS 10s. If we look at the sales prices for the PSA 10, the last one sold, it actually sold within the last 6 months, and it sold for $33,600. Only one has sold in the last 6 months. Therefore, there's no percentage change. There's no average. Not surprisingly, there has not been another PSA 10 added into the population since last April. If you look at BGS 9.5, you'll see a 9,600, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's almost a 1-to-4 ratio. No, that's not accurate. The last BGS 9.5 sold in, I think, September of 2020. If we go over to Card Ladder and we pull up, 9.5 on your screen, you can see Card Ladder estimates the 9.5 would sell for approximately $25,000. Again, low confidence meter because it's been so long since the last one sold. But we can look at the PSA 10 and kind of come to some type of number of what we think that the BGS 9.5 would be worth, just based on the Michael Jordan Index. For those of you not familiar with Card Ladder, they give you this Card Ladder predicted value where they tie the card based on the most recent sale in that particular grade to the index for the player, and then they kind of extrapolate or prognosticate what the the potential next sale price would be of a card in the same grade. So again, remember, BGS 9.5 is always going to depend on subgrades. So the card could vary. It could sell for 18. It could sell for 30, for gosh sakes, if it's a Gem Plus copy. But anyway, getting back to our table, I'm guessing that if we put the BGS 9.5, would probably be 20,000 plus conservatively. There's only been one of those added to the pop since last April, and like we talked about, this is it's below the magic number, right? We try to look at the gem mint population of the card in the combined between the two big grading companies, PSA and BGS. If you add them up, 23 and 72, you get 95. So there's less than 100 gem mint copies in the world of this particular insert. The PSA 9s, there's about 100 of those too. It looks like 104. A lot easier to come across, therefore a lot more affordable. Shockingly, there's been 9 sales of the PSA 9 in the last 6 months. That seems odd to me, and that might be a reason it's down 44% in the last 6 months. 8 have been added to the population, so you can see people are trying to grade these raw or cracking and resubbing it, trying to get that 10. 14 of them have been graded mint condition, but only 1 has slipped through the cracks. I shouldn't say slipped through the cracks, earned the right to be labeled gem mint by BGS. And so 9 PSA 9s have sold in the last 6 months, but if you look here, there's more BGS 9s out there, but only 1 BGS 9 has sold in the last 6 months, and it sold for $7,500. You can see the highest sale of each one of these cards. This one's not helpful at all for the BGS 9.5, as we discussed, since it's from so long ago. But these are relatively helpful because they're relatively recent. But anyway, looking more closely at it, the other thing that stands out to me is that the last PSA 10 that sold is the highest PSA 10 that's ever sold. That's something to keep in mind. We like to ask the question: how many of these will you come across on the open market, in a given duration? So in the last 6 months, we've only seen 1 gem mint copy sell, and it was the Whopper. It was the 33.6, right? But we've seen 10 mint copies, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. If you really want that gem mint copy and it pops up on the open market out in the wild, you may end up paying a premium. It only takes 2 to drive that price up. So will be interesting to see what the next BGS 9.5 sells for. You don't see the PSA 10 often. You won't see my BGS 9.5 on the market, and I have to believe there's a lot of Jordan collectors out there, super collectors way beyond my level, who just aren't going to put this card back out in the wild. Once they've got it, they lock it up and they put it away. So this is one of those types of cards. Combined PSA and BGS gems sold only 1 time in the last 6 months. Let's see. What are we looking at on eBay? We always want to check out eBay, see what's out there, and not surprisingly, it is scarce. So I've plugged in 1998 NOYZ BOYZ Jordan into eBay and ran a search. I come up with a $120 pack, which is, if you're a gambler, go for it. I'm not. We've got a raw copy here for $32,000. That seems steep to me. Probably not going to fetch that number, but he does accept offers, so who knows? Maybe you can get something out of that. You've got a Jordan and a Grant Hill raw, but it's uncut, which is strange to me. Somebody else might want to comment below and let me know exactly what I'm looking at. These don't look to be die cut. They look to be square, which makes me think they're either fake or they're not pack pulled. Maybe they're from a bankruptcy or sheet cut or something weird like that. I'm not your guy for information. I'm never going to espouse information on Jordans that I'm not familiar with, but these look to be uncut, so I would scratch those from my list. I'm looking for the real deal. And then you've got your SGC 9.5 down here for $25,000. Again, that seems steep. It just depends on how you feel about SGC versus BGS. But again, that gentleman or that lady does accept offers, so maybe worth taking a look at it. What do I own? I own a BGS 9.5, as we saw before. It's right here on the screen. Am I a buy, a sell, or a hold on this card? I'm a hold on this card. I'm a hold for a very, very, very long time. I highly covet this card. It was one of the top cards on my list to get in the year 2021, and I was lucky enough to grab one. I have no intention of upgrading to a PSA 10. As you know, for those of you who have listened to me before in my episodes, I care about getting a BGS 9.5 or a PSA 10. I don't worry about subgrades. I understand a premium, some certain subgrades demand a premium, but if I've got a card in a 9.5, rarely do I look to upgrade it to a PSA 10 unless I'm perhaps collecting the entire insert set in PSA 10 or something like that, like I had to do with the Scoring Kings. But I'm very happy with my BGS 9.5 minimum gem. Beggars can't be choosers, like we saw. There's not very many of these out there. So even if I wanted to upgrade to a PSA 10, I would have to knock on some doors and beat down some doors and hope that I could flush one out. But that's where I'm at. I'm a long-term hold, not looking to sell, not looking to buy. We always take a look and ask the question, is this I separate my Jordan inserts from the 90s and the parallels from the 90s into low, mid, high, or grail. Anything over 20,000 is grail. The PSA 10 and the BGS 9.5 are clearly grail cards over $20,000, and they're never coming back, in my opinion. I can't, predict the future, but I think these cards have run and they're not coming back below 20,000. So I think these cards fall into that grail category forever in gem mint condition. In PSA 9 and BGS 9, both of these cards are solid mid-ends, right? And that's that tier between $5,000 and $10,000. I think they're solidly somewhere in the $8,000 to $10,000 range in PSA 9 and BGS 9 condition. They are not difficult to find. There's been 10 of them that hit the market in the last 6 months. So if it's a card you really want to add to your collection, it's certainly there for the taking, and you can go out and get it. What are some similar cards to the NOYZ BOYZ in gem condition from a pricing standpoint? And this gets a little, I had to use a little bit of a range here because when you start getting up into the higher prices, there can be some fluctuation and variation. The first card that's relatively similar in price to the NOYZ BOYZ, and again, remember, there's going to be a little bit of a range here. It's this 1987 Fleer sticker. For those of you who are familiar with this card, finding this card in raw condition where you could actually legitimately submit it to PSA and expect to get a PSA 10 back, it's very difficult. It's a needle in a haystack. There are 25 PSA 10s. If you look at PSA 9s, there's 644. PSA 8s, there's 3,000. So that just gives you an idea how difficult it is to grade this card in a 10. But this 87 Fleer sticker is a card that's in that price range tier, sort of, with our NOYZ BOYZ. The next card is the Linchpins, which I just did an Explore the Card episode on. If you missed that, go back. And if you've ever missed any of my Explore the Card episodes, feel free to go back and put it on episode 1. If you search my playlist, I've got a playlist with just Explore the Card episodes, and you can binge watch it start to finish, like I did with House of Jordans about 2 years ago. That's what kind of put me into the Jordan market. So hopefully I'm doing the same thing, and I'm giving back the same way that those cats on House of Jordans got me hooked on Jordans. I don't know if I'm doing you a favor or if I'm luring you to the dark side, but depending on your perspective, hopefully, my playlist with Explore the Card episodes is something that you guys can use for years to come. Anyway, so the Jordan Linchpins is another one. Obviously, a really low pop card here. It's a pop 7. It's also a really insane high pack odds card, unlike the 87 Fleer sticker where you can pull them all over the place. That's a grading scarcity card, the 87 Fleer sticker. The 88 Linchpins is a just straight up manufactured scarcity card, just like our NOYZ BOYZ is at 1 in 4,500 packs. So Linchpins is another option that's kind of comparable to our NOYZ BOYZ. And then the last one I've got on here, I think this card's probably a little bit bigger card than this. It's a Pop 6. It's the 1996 Skybox Premium Rubies card, which is again, this is a manufactured scarcity card. There's only 21 PSA 9s and 10s combined, but 6 PSA 10s. Whoever got this card for $23,000 a few days ago, I know it sounds funny, is probably really happy about that card. It sold for $5,000 2 years ago. $23,000 last sale. But those cards are kind of comparable as far as range goes. If I threw out price and you're just asking me which one of these cards I would want for a 10-year hold in order, I would go Lynchpins number 1. So I'd go right here to Lynchpins number 1. There's just something about this card that I really love. It's got these, die cut pin holes. I guess it's called die cut, but they're pin holes. Those little pins are actually punched into the card. We talked about it on our Explore the episode. I can't remember what episode it was. I think it might have been episode 16, so maybe 2 episodes back if you missed it. But beautiful card. Number 2, I would go with our NOYZ BOYZ here, right? I would go with our NOYZ BOYZ in PSA 10 condition. Again, I've got the 9.5, but I would go with the NOYZ BOYZ in 10 condition. And then next, I would go with the rubies. And then lastly, I would go with the sticker. And it's really just based on pop. As far as those twos go, if you really needed to find the sticker, you could. If you really wanted to find the Skybox Premium rubies, you may not be able to. And the same can be said with NOYZ BOYZ, and the same can be said with Lynchpins. And so that's kind of what distinguishes it for me. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below. Let me know what order you would prefer as far as those 4 comparable cards. Obviously, some of them appear to be worth double what the others are, so you would take the most valuable card and maybe sell it and just buy the rubies. But just aesthetically speaking and how much it means, let me know what you think. We always rank cards, or I'll always rank cards on my Cajun cardboard scale of relevance. I put the NOYZ BOYZ as a 9 out of 10. I think this is just right below the PMGs. Again, I don't touch autographs. I don't touch jersey patch cards. And we're only talking about cards from the 90s during Jordan's playing years. So I really think this NOYZ BOYZ card here is a special one. I give it a 9 out of 10 on the scale. When I made my list of Jordan cards to target and to really go after hard in the years 2020 and 2021, NOYZ BOYZ was at or near the very top of the list, along with a few others to get in gem condition, because I just don't feel these prices on these cards are coming down. That's just me. Again, I'm not here giving investment advice. I'm not saying go buy it and become a millionaire, but I just don't see the prices coming down on certain Jordan inserts and parallels from 90s, and this one's one of them. So for that reason, I give it a 9 out of 10. Thanks as always for watching. Appreciate Card Ladder for all the fantastic pricing and data tools. I use Trading Card Database as well to get some more information about the sets, and then of course BGS and PSA pop reports are invaluable in putting our tables together, and hopefully that data helps you guys make a more educated decision if you're looking at buying this particular insert or parallel. But again, thank you guys for watching. Hit the end screen. Like I said, if you have never seen my Explore the Card episodes, please go back and feel free to binge watch all of them and comment on them. I answer every comment, or I respond, or at least acknowledge every comment, and I'd be happy to chat. I'm Cajun Cardboard on Instagram, Cajun Cardboard on Facebook, Cajun Cardboard on YouTube, so I'm not hard to find. I'm not hiding. I love being part of the hobby, and I love talking about Jordan cards. So thank you guys for listening. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace, fellas.